Welcome to the Doktor O'Kay Show. I am Doktor O'Kay, and this is Raw on Netflix from Charlotte, North Carolina. And today we're going to do some more complaining about this Raw setup at the end. And our main headline is just keep dealing a coup de stomp. But we'll get to that in a minute too, so let's start with our first match and just keep clashing off the rust as AJ Styles knocks Carlito off of the apron and then reverses Arana into a Styles clash to pick up his first win in 10 months. So yes, AJ Styles finally is the ones, and apparently he's very well rested, more than rusty, as he dominated Dominic Mysterio from bell to bell. And he proved to be in top form with his flurry of strikes that stops his 4-match losing streak as he goes to 1-0 in one-on-one matches. And that means Dom is the twos, as he was pretty much not able to get in any offense until he distracted the ref that allowed Carlito to knock Styles off of the ropes right before he was going to go for a phenomenal forearm. So we do have to give Carlito a fine for that. And then Dom later was able to connect with a 619, but he missed his frog splash and falls for the third straight time, going to 0-1 in one-on-one matches in 2025. And then after the match, Braun Breaker showed up in the corner of the ring and tried to blindside Styles with a spear, but Styles felt it and moved out of the way, so Dom took the full force of that spear, and we do have to give Breaker a fine. Well, this was shockingly good for the old man, so I guess he staves off retirement for one night at least, and we'll give this an okay. In our second match, we just keep kicking back to contention as Dakota Kai shakes off a knee assault to Sting with a scorpion kick and a GTK to become #1 contender for the Women's IC Championship. So Dakota is the ones, and apparently her legs can go for days as she landed a Dakota kick, a chiropractor, and her diving foot stomp before she finished it off with that GTK, so she goes to 1-1 in one-on-one matches. And that means Ivy Nile is the twos, and she seemed to be smart to focus on Dakota's injured left knee with a drop kick while Dakota was stuck in the Tree of Woe, and she also put in a couple of different ankle locks, but it just wasn't enough as she drops to 0-1 in one-on-one matches. Well, this will set up a rematch between Dakota and Lyra for that women's IC title, just like Meechin just so happened to get several chances at Chelsea, so we have to give this a not okay. At our third match, we just keep getting into his business as Ludwig Kaiser can't help but get in the way of Pete Dunne as Penta then pushes Dunne into Kaiser, and then Dunne goes right into the Penta driver. So Penta is the ones, and I don't think he knows how to have a bad match. He had a couple nice moves with a backstabber and a Mexican destroyer, and he even smartly used Kaiser to his advantage after Kaiser had stopped a Cope Conilo, so Penta remains undefeated in one-on-one matches at 4-0. And then Dunne is the twos as he worked his traditional joint manipulation and even took off Penta's glove to work on his fingers, and he reversed a headstand kick into a sit-out powerbomb, but in the end he was too focused on Kaiser, so he drops to 0-2 with both losses against Penta. And then after the match, Kaiser blindsided Penta, so we will have to give Kaiser a fine for that. But then Dunne yanked Kaiser to the floor, and those two started swinging before Penta stopped both of them with that Tope Conilo. Well, no one in the WWE is more exciting than Penta right now, so we have to give it a double okay. Up fourth, we just keep finding a 2-leafed clover as East Compton's cheerleaders, or perhaps the EST Gloaton's cheerleaders, surround and slam Liv into the barricade. That causes a distraction for Roxanne to make Raquel eat some pop rocks to advance to the Elimination Chamber. So Roxanne is the ones, and this was her first match on Raw since last April, and she was mostly overwhelmed by the much bigger Raquel in this one, but she did have a nice combo with a DDT and springboard moonsault, and she took advantage of her opening when she saw it, so she stops a 4-match losing streak across both brands in any type of match, and is 1-0 on the main roster in one-on-one matches. For Raquel, she is the 2s, and she caught Roxanne's aerial moves several times, and then had a nice copter spin on her, as well as her twisting elbow drop, but she lost focus when Liv was attacked, so she goes to 0-4 in all singles matches since returning, and she has no singles win since last February. So Isis and, I'm gonna have to check my notes here, Isis and Lava's attack on Liv, that will have to give both of them fines. And yeah, I don't remember anyone on the Clovers other than Isis in that movie, so forgive me for that. Hi folks, SportsZu here. Here at the SportsZu, we strive for perfect accuracy. Unfortunately, the doc came up short of that goal today when he referred to lava. Instead, Naomi was referencing the character Janelope from 2000's hit movie Bring It On. Unfortunately, the actress portraying Janelope, Natina Reed, lost her life far too early when she was simply walking across the street and was hit with a car over a decade ago. We apologize for this mistake, and just remember that it is Doc who is actually the stupid idiot. Well, regardless, Raquel then saved Liv from further damage from those cheerleaders after the loss. So what a friend Raquel really must be. And Raquel really deserved to win this one, so it wasn't exactly a resounding win for the NXT upstart. But of course, we don't know if Liv and Raquel were the ones who actually attacked Jade, so for now, they don't deserve this, and we'll have to give the match a not okay. And in our main headline and main event, we just keep dealing a coup de stomp as Seth Rollins kicks out of a coup de grace and reverses out of a crossface to stomp Balor out and advance to the Elimination Chamber. So Seth Rollins is the ones, and what a strange journey he put us through here, as he started out by attacking Balor's knee, which seemed to work, even locking in a sharpshooter at one point, which I don't remember seeing in quite a while, if nothing else. But he let the sharpshooter go to land a pedigree, when the ref then clearly stopped counting before Balor kicked out to keep this match going. So Rollins gave the ref a suck it, and we will give the ref a what were you thinking? And then Rollins was seemingly out of sorts from there before pulling it together with that stomp. But this was still not impressive to take so long to beat Finn Balor, who seemingly can't win any match. But in the end, the win is the thing here as he advances to the chamber and is 2-1 in one-on-one matches. And that means Balor is the 2s, and he wanted this one badly as he attacked Rollins before the bell, so we will give him a fine for that. And he quickly stunned everyone with a pedigree of his own, and then just missed a coup de grace that just may have done it. And then after the referee's blown call, he almost took advantage by stopping a stomp with his own boot and then connected on that coup de grace, but this was still somehow not enough to put Rollins away. So this is 6 straight one-on-one losses and 0-2 in 2025. Well, the crowd gave this one a "This is awesome" chant, but it did not really deserve it. And of course, we were thrown off by the ref's blown call, so we will only be able to give it an okay. And even though Balor said that there'd be 3 Judgment Day members in the Elimination Chamber after the night ended, well, it turns out there's still just 1. And he also reiterated that there were no new members allowed in the Judgment Day, so their little backstage statement will get a not okay. So with that, let's go beyond the mat for Raw, and Sami Zayn was able to get up off the couch, though he basically repeated what he said while he was on that couch during SmackDown, saying that it was different this time and that KO tried to end his career and blah blah blah, some other stuff, but that wasn't really important. Nonetheless, he said that he's not 100%, but he got enough in the tank for a fight against KO. But Adam Pearce then interrupted, saying that Zayn has not been cleared and everyone says no to this match, but Zayn wouldn't take no for an answer, so he stupidly got himself an unsanctioned match. Welp, I guess that'll be his funeral, and that is, of course, okay by me. Gunther mocked Jey by coming out through the crowd and telling everyone there that yeeting is a simple gesture for simple people, or as I would like to say, all of you stupid idiots out there. But then Gunther threw the mic at Pat McAfee asking him if he thought Jey could win, and that stupid idiot said that anything can happen in one night, so yes, he thinks Jey could win. Ah man, not a good answer there. Regardless, Jey then interrupted and officials tried to stop him from running to the ring, but of course they failed, so he got there and got the better of Gunther in this one because of course Gunther wasn't looking for a fight here, and that means we have to give Jey a fine. But then Jey took it too far and super kicked one security guard and tossed another one out of the ring, so we have to give Jey a separate 2-week suspension for that inappropriate conduct. But after even more officials joined to stop them, Jey got the better of Gunther again, with Gunther having to retreat up the ramp. But just for not having 10 straight minutes of yeeting here, we're gonna give this segment an okay. Shortly thereafter, that led to Jey telling Kathy Kelly in an interview that he feels underestimated, but that he's going to beat Gunther, and the announcers responded by saying they're not sure if he actually believes that. So yeah, I think there are some good seeds of doubt there, so we'll give this an okay. But starting here, I have to point out it's just a terrible job by WWE because they followed that up with showing Bayley playing basketball the night before she went on to lose the NXT Women's Championship, which was really something a stupid idiot herself would do. But since I was busy with SmackDown like a normal person, that idiot SportsZu reports that Bayley had some pretty good skills out there, though they made sure to show her really bad shot during the game. Well, nonetheless, I digress. They also then showed a Roxanne vignette, then a War Raiders vignette where they said that they were not done with the creeds and the next time it's war. And yes, that's 4 straight non-match segments in a row, so that gets a double not okay. And then guess what? After that Raquel-Roxanne match, Kathy then interviewed Rollins, and then after Rollins left, Karrion Kross interrupted and tried to pour some more venom into Zayn's head by saying there's always time to turn things around. And they followed that with a vignette by Io pointing out that she's beaten Rhea every single time. But then we had the New Day go into the ring where they did actually say some things that made sense when Kingston said that he has more titles than Rey Mysterio and has been there longer. So he should be the one who's the locker room leader, and they should be thankful that they showed him mercy last week. Well, I guess the other members of the LWO didn't agree because they interrupted and ran down to the ring to outnumber them 3-2, so we will give fines to Dragon Lee, Wild, and Del Toro. Which then led to Kathy Kelly interviewing Bianca and Naomi. So if you're counting at home, that means we had 8 out of 9 segments where we had non-matches on this wrestling show. Or at least I think they're still calling this a wrestling show. Well, nonetheless, Raw has felt completely off during this Netflix era, so I don't know, it's time to put some more matches on and get this thing turned around. But despite having the minimally acceptable 5 matches tonight, we will at least be able to give the New Day an okay for speaking several truths, but we have to give this second group an overall double not okay for completely throwing off the show. Well, if you don't want to completely throw off everything, be sure to go right on over here and check out all of my grades for SmackDown, where I yelled at Sami Zayn for not helping out Kevin Owens. But if you don't, go back and check that out, just like going back to back to back to back twice with non-wrestling matches, you would get a double not okay.